film from Disney. This is a movie they did in the 80s, sequel to the first one. This is The Bride of Boogedy. Yeah, I finally saw this on Disney Plus about a month ago during Halloween. I didn't get to review it, so now I'm reviewing it for you guys. So it aired on an episode of the Disney Sunday movie thing that was back in the 80s, before the Disney Channel was an official thing, when they had their own content and old films. This one takes place right where the first one left off with the family. The cast played by, you have Richard Masur as Carlton Davis. He's the jokester of the family. You have Mimi Kennedy, who's as Eloise Davis, who has one of the weirdest laughs ever. She goes, yeah, she laughs like that. It's weird. She honks like a goose. The only actor that didn't come back for the sequel was Christy Swanson. She was in the first Mr. Boogedy, and she decided not to do the sequel. Instead, she was replaced by Tammy Lauren as Jennifer Davis. Then you have Davis Faustino from the first film, and also you have some new people in this film. You have Eugene Levy. He's the owner of Lynch's General Store in the movie. You have Vincent Schiavelli, may he rest in peace. He's Lazarus, a gravedigger. Ironic. And the plot is, the movie begins a year after the events of the first story. The Davis family has fit in very well with the townspeople of Lucifer Falls, wink wink. Almost all of them, except for a grumpy general store owner, Tom Lynch, who has a great disdain for Carlton and the growing popularity he's gained among the townsfolks. But that is the least of their worries, as their daughter Jennifer and their two sons, Corbin and R.E., begin to sense Mr. Boogedy may return, and he's looking for a bride. But basically, the bride of Boogedy is at the very end of the movie, so really the title is misleading. They should have just called it Mr. Boogedy Returns. That would have made more sense here, and I'm not kidding. Every time he uses his powers, it sounds like a Star Wars blaster. It goes, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like, zapping somebody. You go, or instead it goes, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like electricity. It sounds like a Star Wars blaster, like the stormtroopers shooting. It took me out of the movie. And also, there's a fortune teller in the movie, Madeline Ska, played by Karen Katazane. And she's just there. She's not really a main character in it. But like I said, the Mr. Boogedy doesn't show up until halfway through the movie, and he takes a mom and gives her the freaking the bride's hair right here in this picture. But it's not till the very end of the movie. Look. And Mr. Boogedy's makeup effects look fine, but I thought the film was meh at best, just like the first one. I'm like, it's not really. It doesn't feel like a Disney movie. It feels like a Tim Burton movie, like in his career. And it's not scary. So if you have kids, they can watch this on Disney Plus. It's not going to scare them unless Mr. Boogedy is like a little bit too strong for them. But the effects, they're okay, but the sound effects are awful. Like that blaster sound doesn't work for a non-Star Wars movie. And the acting is fine. Most of the actors are fine. They're acting for the time. Even the girl that replaces Christy Swanson. Christy Swanson was awful in the first movie. It was her first feature film role, and she was like complaining, "I saw it, the Boogedy Man." I'm like, oh my god, you're so laughable. Yeah, but it was a bad script in the first one. Here, it's a little better. Tammy Lauren is a better actress in this movie, but that's not saying much because Jennifer's character wasn't that deep in the first one. But yeah, the movie, if you have Disney Plus, you can watch it there for free. It's worth watching on Disney Plus at least once. But for me, it was just meh because it's just a longer version of the first movie. The first film was a 45-minute short film. Yeah, 45 minutes, not 2 hours and 30 minutes. Eternals. This one is an hour and 40 minutes. I think it's a little bit too long. There's 10 or 15 minutes you could have trimmed out, and the movie would have been faster paced. This is a 90-minute movie. You didn't need the extra 10 minutes. It's just to set up new characters, and I'm like, didn't really care about them. You had the family that and Mr. Boogedy. That's all you needed. You don't need like 100 characters. Sometimes a movie needs to be short and to the point. You don't need extra baggage to make the movie go longer. I mean, an hour and 40 minutes is too long already for a kid's movie. 45 minutes is too short, but there's a balance. Like an hour and 20, an hour and 30 is how you do it. Any longer or any shorter feels like you're getting cheated. But the film is fine for what it is. If you've seen it, good. If you haven't seen it, Oz Scott directed this. Did he direct the first movie? This is the guy that did Busting Loose with whatchamacallit, Richard Pryor. He did the Jeffersons movie, Give Me a Break from the 80s. He did the original Fame. He did Dirty Dancing. So this guy can direct. It's just that this movie was just kind of like meh. Did he direct the first Mr. Boogedy? No, he didn't. Uh The Cosby Show, Party of Five, The Birds of Paradise. He's mostly done a lot of television. Uh yeah, pretty much. His last TV show was SWAT, that SWAT TV show that just came out a few years ago. But it's fine for what it is. Like if you're in the mood to see something this month that's not Halloween, that's not Christmas oriented or Thanksgiving, Bride of Boogedy is a time waster at best. I wouldn't say it's a great movie. It's not a horrible movie. It's just kind of in the middle for me. I'm like, you can watch it once and you've seen it. You're good. And also the first one. The first one is short, so it's not going to take a lot of time. But it is what it is, guys. So thanks for watching my video. Uh, Share this on Facebook and Twitter and on YouTube, and just keep watching my videos. I'll be doing more commentaries next week, hopefully, because I have a lot of things to do. But thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Yes.